It's time for another Cougar Coaches Show here on Mediacom Channel 22 and on ColumbiaCougars.com. My name is Cosmo with the head coach of the men's and women's cross country and really track and field teams as well at Columbia College, Tim Cornell. Coach, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here again.
Yeah, now explain a little bit. Obviously it's cross country, but then when we have 8 feet of snow on the ground, or maybe if we didn't get it, you're running in the indoor sessions now a little bit, trying to keep my head straight on when your seasons are at different times, but explain a little bit how the cross-country runners are also a track and field team and compete in these indoor events.
Sure. So we try and keep them busy all year long, and cross-country, indoor track and field, and outdoor track and field really go together. We're training for different events, but with the same athletes. So we have 6 young men and 6 young women on the track teams right now, and they're the same athletes that we run with during cross-country.
What happens if somebody wants to throw a shot put? Could you compete in that, or no, it's just running?
If we put them in a collegiate shot put, they would not want to throw a shot put ever again. They would be embarrassed.
But now some of those events, obviously you get some of the distance and then shorter sprint races or whatever. What has the success been for Columbia on the indoor circuit?
Sure. Our success really lies in the distance events, and that's completely by design. We want to enhance the abilities of our cross-country team via track and field. So we take the advantage of track and field. We get extra days to train. We're able to stretch those competition opportunities with track and field. So it just helps our cross-country team, and it helps our young people become better racers, better athletes, and just better runners in general.
So now are there teams then in the NAIA or in the AMC that only do cross-country and don't do any of the indoor track and field?
Yeah, there are a few of them, and a lot of those teams are strictly looking for cross-country as another sport that they can say, hey, we do this sport. Gotcha. And as everybody knows, Columbia College doesn't operate in that way, and that's one of the things that drew me to Columbia College when we were starting the program, is the opportunity to not only have a competitive cross-country team, but to have competitive track and field runners as well.
Talk about some of the specific events. I know there was one at MU at the Field House and a couple others that you guys have competed in here recently with some great success, especially on a couple of relay teams.
Yeah, absolutely. So the most recent competitions were at the University of Missouri on this, I guess, 2 Fridays ago now. And then we had the AMC Indoor Championships, which was the day before on Thursday. The AMC meet was tremendous. The women really ran well. The guys ran well too, but not as well as the women. The women are healthier right now. They're a little fitter. The guys are just a little bit behind, a step or 2 behind right now. On the women's side, we kicked it off with a 4x8 qualifier for the national championships coming up this Thursday. They ran 9:50 for that 3,200-meter relay. That was Riley Fader, Julia Montgomery, Emily Schultz, and Lindsay Martin, 4 really good runners for us. Those ladies came back in individual events and were able to score 60 points for that women's team on that day. On the guys' side, we had a couple of really nice victories too. 4x8 was victorious, just missed the indoor qualifying mark. And then Tommy Skoski, one of our tremendous freshmen, came back and backed it up with a victory in the 800 meters and a second-place finish in the 3,000-meter race.
So they then qualify, the ones that do qualify for championships. Now, when are those indoor meets?
Yeah, coming up is the NAI Indoor Championship this coming Thursday through Saturday. So we ended up qualifying 2 young ladies in the 5K, Lindsay Martin, Emily Schultz, and then the 4x8 relay team. On the guys' side, like I said, the 4x8 just missed. Tommy Skoski ran great races in the 800 and the 1,000, but just missed those qualifying marks.
So the ladies will have their chance to bring home conference medals, if you will,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely. So if they perform well at this meet, they have the potential to make the final, which is a tremendous feat in and of itself. And if you're top 8 at those national championships, then you're All-American in that specific event.
So at that point, it's just more of the individual events with the relay in there as well, not necessarily a team.
Sure.
Is there a team competition?
There is a team competition. That's not our focus at this point, because we're only trying to build a competitive part of a track and field team. Gotcha. We've only got those distance events, so really competing well at the national level as a team is unrealistic. But having young ladies and young men who are All-American and teams and individuals who can win those events, that's something that is realistic and that we're shooting for.
And you mentioned with the way Columbia College, as far as the sports are concerned, there's that, well, the phrase for the whole school, go for greater. Right. You add that mantra into that program, and yeah, if you hyper-focus just that, an opportunity to compete against the best of the best in just that hyper-focused spot is
absolutely
good to go for.
And I think our athletes are excited about that. You know, this is really an opportunity for them, like you said, to run against the best runners in the NAI. And that's an opportunity that we look forward to. Not like a lot of other teams are happy with being at those national championships. We're not content in getting there. We want to do well once we get there.
Now we start to see some of the snow melt away finally a little bit. Some green, I think that's called grass out there. Yeah. And the temperatures are, although you guys are out running, it doesn't matter. I've seen heading into basketball games, and a cross-country team is headed down Providence and out on their training circuit and doing their thing. But when we get into spring and then almost summertime, where does the competition shift as far as official conference competition? How does that work?
Sure. We'll roll right from indoor track and field into outdoor track and field. So just a few short weeks after the indoor championships, we're back in action in St. Louis. Washington University has a tremendous meet where we'll go run some of the distance events. So we take a short break and then we get right back at it. We have the AMC Outdoor Championships on April 26th. That event is likely to be in Columbia out at Battle High School. So an event for Cougar fans to look forward to and to come out and cheer on the Cougars.
Another opportunity for you guys to showcase the school, showcase the facilities, and one of the great setup they have at Battle. I mean, that obviously brand new. The new car smell is still there. That an unbelievable setting. And how does that work as far as the coach, as far as just, I guess, a bidding process, trying to put your guys' hat in the ring and see if you get it?
Well, I'm lucky. You know, Bruce Whitesize is a good friend of mine. He and my mom work together. Their offices are right next door to each other. And then the track and field coach out at Battle is Rebecca Wilmus. And she and I were at the University of Missouri together. So I've got a few connections over there, and they were able to really help us out with that.
Well, that's obviously a good thing, especially more of the opportunities. I know you had the conference championships in the cross country here earlier in the year, which seems like a bazillion months ago, but into the fall time. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about some of the athletes and the training. I think that's the number one question I get asked a lot, too, about the fact that Columbia College has a cross country and then the crossover into the track and field side. As we come back, talk Cougar sports with the cross country and the track and field runners back after this on MediaCom Channel 22.